Hello everyone, my name is Walter Richards from DaGameTrain, and today we are going to play Conflict Desert Storm 2. Oh yeah! This game is pretty cool, but looking at this menu at a pretty low resolution is boring, so let's get straight to the action. I'll explain everything there is to know about this as we go along. Let's start with the training, cause I don't remember how to do shit, plus I think it might be useful to refamiliarize ourselves with how things work. Cause you know, that's what everyone should do when they first start the game. So, first training mission starts out in the Special Forces Basic Training Area. And you play as
Step lively, soldier.
Bradley.
Now you may remember Master Sergeant Franks from your last time here. Well, I've got an update for you, son. Franks was a pussycat. My name is Master Sergeant Peters, and this is my course now. You are now entering my world, and I am going to be your worst nightmare. Do you understand?
Sir, yes, sir.
I hope so, son. But just to make sure, let's see how good you are at taking a direct order. Forward!
So at first you got some basic commands to do, like move up, move back, do some sidestepping. It's pretty easy stuff.
Sidestep right.
If you don't know what it wants you to do, just wait a bit till it tells you how to do it. It's pretty easy.
Turn around. Okay, well I guess that proves you ain't stupid. Well, you ain't at the doctor's, boy, this is the military. Through the door below is my assault course, built to separate the men from the boys. Get your backside through the door and let's see if you're fit to wear that uniform. Move!
I do have to say, in the Russian languages of this game, the sergeant here, whatever he's called again, I forgot actually, he sounds a lot more aggressive than usual. Not to mention everyone else sounds a bit more aggressive or just more interesting to listen to. I don't know.
Ahead of you to either side are two 50 cal heavy machine guns, which on my command will start dealing out some pretty serious suppressive fire. And when I say fire, I mean real fire. These ain't no Hollywood rounds, boy. So unless you want me sending your pretty little ass home in a body bag, you'd better keep your head down, understand?
Sir, yes, sir.
You ain't fooling around too. Those machine guns will hurt.
Get set! Go! 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 Faster! Move it! Move it!
Jesus.
Faster! Come on, soldier! Get across
Those sound
those
effects
beams,
are really
soldier.
good for the time this game came out in, and I don't exactly remember the age of this, but it's pretty old. Oh shit! No, I'm stuck.
Get back up there, soldier!
God damn it, I never had that happen to me. But you know how this works. You start recording and the most stupidest shit happens to you because you're recording something.
Climb those ramps, soldier!
Well, we'll see what he says. I think he always says the same thing no matter how fast you do this, because there really is no way to move
Almost
any
there,
faster
soldier.
than
Keep moving.
this. You're already moving as fast as possible.
What on earth do you call that, maggot? You call that fast? My dear old grandma gets over those beams quicker than that. And she's 95 years old! 95 years old, boy! Now, if you think you can beat Grandma Peters, follow the barrier back to the start. When you've had enough, join me through the door ahead of you for your weapons evaluation. Let's just hope you can shoot straighter than you can run.
I don't see the point in running the course again. Plus, he seems to say the same shit any time you do this. So
Step
it
through the
what the
armory door and we'll
fuck?
begin your weapons evaluation.
This game is starting to glitch up already.
Collect your
Jesus.
weapons from the counter, boy. There you go, sir.
Alright, this is just the firing range. Pick up your guns and do what the game tells you to do.
Or otherwise known as the M9. Shoot a few rounds down the range.
I really don't have to say much about this
That's enough, boy.
game right now, because it does the talking for me. So I'll just let it go on its own.
Okay, now I want you to try aiming at each one. Aim mode is useful for aiming at an enemy. Move the crosshair over one of the targets. Go ahead, shoot both targets. Not bad. Maybe I was wrong about you. Let's see how you do against multiple targets. You got 30 seconds to try to get as many targets as possible. That's 30 seconds only. Ready? Begin!
Alright, now you get 30 seconds to see just how good you are at shooting targets with a pistol. It's really nothing special, you just have to use the aim mode, well, to maximize your aim, and fire at the targets. We only need one bullet to get knocked down. It doesn't matter where you hit them, it just matters that you hit them. If you hit all of the targets, you'll get the best score, I guess. It doesn't really keep score as far as I can tell. In fact, I think there's nothing special that happens if you miss the targets. I never tried, so it doesn't matter.
Now I want you to equip the M16 assault rifle.
Well, thanks game, I was just about to say that. To switch weapons, just hold left shift and use the mouse wheel, or W and S. Once you select the gun, release.
You are now holding in your sweaty hands the M16 assault rifle. This is your best friend. This version has 2 fire modes, single fire and 3-round automatic burst fire. Try switching through the fire modes now.
Switching is pretty easy, you just need to hold the left shift and press the left mouse button.
Put it in burst mode, boy.
Put it in burst mode, boy!
Right. I'm going to activate a series of targets. See how many you can hit. Ready? Begin!
The rifle is pretty nice. However, this isn't the only weapon you'll get to play around with, much like the sniper rifle. There's a variety of weapons in this game that you'll be able to make use of, but this one is more of a common weapon, which you'll normally start with when we do the actual missions, which we'll get to once the tutorial is over.
Looks like I was all wrong. You're Saddam's worst nightmare. Now, we'll move on to the last weapon, the sniper rifle.
Oh, and the game is based around the time where Saddam Hussein was at large.
PSG-1 sniper rifle. Good. You are now holding the Heckler & Koch PSG-1, a high-precision sniping rifle. Switch into aim mode.
Aiming with a sniper rifle is a bit different, as you can see, because now you have a scope, but you also got these 2 lines that converge on the middle if you don't move around. That basically just shows what you're gonna hit. If the lines are all over the place, you're most likely going to hit nothing, because they're basically your crosshair, which moves around as you move as well.
Use the rifle scope to hit the target. Ready?
If you want to hit the target, you have to hold your aim down on the target a bit, and then, once the crosshair aligns itself properly on the middle, let go of the trigger. Now, because you're using the sniper rifle, you'll get more time to find the targets and shoot them down. Unfortunately, I can't seem to see the targets at all. Where the fuck are they? There he is. You'll get a lot more time to deal with the targets at this point in time, because the sniper rifle, well, it takes quite a bit of time to align itself properly. However, it is a guaranteed one-shotter whenever you hit something with it, so you don't have to worry about that. It also shows you the range of the target that you're aiming at, which is nice if you care about those kind of things.
You're as cool as ice. You hit every target, boy. Well, that's it for today. Congratulations. You managed to hit all the targets. You're even starting to impress me. Dismiss.
Hell yeah, boy! You did your first train mission, but there's 3 more, and I think they're all worth checking out. So let's go ahead and do that. They're pretty short, and they get straight to the point, which is why I like this tutorial stuff in Conflict Desert Storm 2 really much. However, this time around we're gonna need to practice a bit about the demolitions and a bit about the stealth. We'll start with stealth. This time around we'll be playing as Jones.
Good evening, soldier. Tonight you're going to learn how to infiltrate an area undetected. This is a vital skill needed when you have to get into an enemy-held area with a numerically superior enemy. Infiltrating an area undetected and quietly taking out guards will make your life much easier. When trying to infiltrate an enemy position, you should not run. Running will make a lot of noise and quickly give away your position. The amount of kit you guys carry in the front lines means you don't tread lightly. To avoid being heard, you should walk, crouch, or crawl. Obviously, to avoid being seen, you should use any available cover, such as walls, furniture, and crates. Do you understand, soldier? Well, sound off like you got a pair.
Sir, yes, sir.
When in a combat situation, you will always have a knife for close-range targets. You will find a silenced pistol is useful against close to mid-range targets. Okay, enough talk. Let's get on with it. Try to get past the guards in the warehouse and reach the end.
Alright, now you get to the stealthing section. Stealthing is pretty basic in this game. It's nothing close to Splinter Cell or Thief levels, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just basically you have to crouch down so that the people wouldn't hear you when you're a few meters away from them. And that's about it. Now at this range I can run behind this guy no problem. He's not gonna hear anything, but you gotta keep in mind that, well, he's a bit of a dickhead. He likes to turn around at the worst times and say, "Oh shit, I see you, boy." Get back to the start, and if that happens, you're gonna need to get back to the start. Luckily, stealthing through this tutorial area is very easy, and as far as I know, there are no mandatory stealth sections in the game. That could be proven wrong soon, but as far as I know, there aren't any that you really need to worry about. Most of the time you'll just be able to destroy all of the enemies with your guns. So yeah, if you are not very good at stealth in this game, which is kind of pathetic if that's the case, don't worry. Nobody cares. You just need to survive, that's all.
Okay, soldier, in this exercise you will learn how to use smoke grenades to block the sight of the enemy. On the table you will find several smoke grenades. Pick them up, soldier. In this exercise, a friendly soldier is pinned down by enemy fire. You have to block the view of the machine gunner using your smoke grenade so that he may pass safely. In order for you to disable the machine gun, you must lay a smoke grenade in the painted target area. Go ahead, soldier, do it now.
As you can see, smoke grenades are very effective at laying some covering smoke. In fact, it's very hard to see anything through this bloody smoke. I can't even see the guy that we were supposed to quote-unquote help get past the enemy fire. We will get to use the smoke grenades a bit more in the missions, and they will prove very useful. However, they can also be a bit of a detriment to yourself when you just want to know where the hell you're going, because the smoke is very thick. But now we get to the demolitions part, and I think this is the best part, because you get to blow shit up. And everybody loves to blow shit up.
You will see several targets. You must destroy them all to continue. When you fire, notice the arc of the projectile. If used correctly, this is an extremely effective and devastating weapon. Go ahead and take out the targets now.
Yep, it's a very devastating weapon.
Go to the table and pick up the grenade. Good. The M67 fragmentation grenade is a deadly part of a soldier's arsenal. Like the M203 grenade launcher, the M67 can take out several enemies at once. As you can see, there are several targets in the new range. Use the M67 grenades on the targets and let's see how many you can get. Take out all the targets now, soldier. Okay, soldier. Tactical use of anti-personnel mines can provide valuable support to a small squad. Pick up the Claymore anti-personnel mine from the table and move it to the impact room.
Grenades are very effective as well, as you can see. But you gotta watch out, you can easily nuke yourself, much like with any other thing that explodes in this game. rocket launchers, claymores, the such. With that said, pick up the rest of the crap that was on this table and move on through this door to the impact room. This is probably gonna be the funniest part actually. There's our friend there who's gonna demonstrate how explosions work in this game, and well, I think I hope that job pays.
Stand on the target and face the X marked on the wall. The Claymore has a fire arc of 60 degrees, which means anything moving in front of it will be plunged into a world of pain. Carefully place the mine and then retreat to the safe zone behind the sandbag wall.
At this point you gotta keep in mind that in case you walk outside of a sandbag wall, I think the tutorial mission gets cancelled, so don't do that. Well, either that or the guy just stops doing what he's doing. And this is probably the funniest part of the tutorial because he just decides to walk into the fucking mine like a dipshit. You're a fucking dumbass.
Heal counters now, soldier, move it.
I'll fix you up.
You can also heal yourself using this method. Okay, this is simple, so listen up. There's a target marked clearly on the floor. I want you to plant the C4 charge on the red target. When you have planted the charge, move back behind the sandbag wall. When you're in the safe zone, equip the detonator and remote activate the charge. We're only using a small charge, but it's still more than enough to make a nice mess if you don't get it right.
And now for some fireworks.
Well done. That concludes this training exercise. Dismissed.
It wasn't very special, but well, that's okay. Now we're gonna do the third mission, and then after that we'll get straight to the point, because the fourth training mission is all about how to issue commands to your squad members. This is a squad based game where you play with 4 characters at the same time while controlling one at a time. And I never use the squad commands. At least I never feel like I have to, because they're not very useful. Plus, I don't usually remember how to do that, so we'll just skip that part outright and get straight to the point of this game after this tutorial mission, which will cover some more interesting stuff, like how to blow up a tank.
Remember me, soldier? I'm Master Sergeant Peters, and today I will be instructing you in the use of the heavy machine gun. Do you hear me, boy?
Sir, yes, sir.
I hope so, son, because one wrong step here and I'm going to be writing a letter home to your mama. Step up to the heavy machine gun now. This is a Browning 50 caliber heavy machine gun, one of the most fearsome battlefield weapons ever devised. The Big 50 is a lethal man-stopper, also capable of penetrating vehicles, buildings, and even lightly armored targets. Okay, now I'm going to activate a couple of targets downrange. Use the Browning to take them down. Ready, begin!
Mounted machine guns are very powerful, and they will be scattered all over the place during the missions, so if you ever find somebody using this shit, you'll be able to kill them and occupy the machine gun for yourself, which will be useful sometimes in taking care of the large masses of enemies which will try to swarm your positions and knock your ass out. Of course, here in this training mission we don't really get much to shoot at. It's again targets, and with every weapon you can zoom in a little bit. With a sniper rifle you can zoom in a lot, but with other weapons like the assault rifle or this machine gun that we have here, you can zoom in just a little bit, which is very nice actually. I do like that you can zoom in a little bit, although sometimes it can be a little disorienting when you keep doing this. But that's okay. The skybox looks pretty good actually for a game of this old. I don't remember how old it is, but it's pretty safe to say that it's at least 10 years old. Maybe not that much, but it's definitely one of the older ones. It's early 2000s. Now, as the name implies of this game, there is a Conflict Desert Storm 1, but I haven't gotten hold of it yet. whenever I do get a hold of it, I'll give it a shot and see if it's worth recording it. If I can record it, that is. Because, well, old games tend to be quite bitchy about them getting recorded properly. That's just something you have to get used to when you take care of the old stuff.
Hutsu, step lively there. You're more like a Girl Scout than a soldier. I'm Master Sergeant Booth. I'm here to teach you the skills you need to survive an encounter with an armored vehicle. In front of you is a Law 80 anti-tank rocket launcher. This and the smaller Law 66 are your only defense against enemy armored vehicles. Pick it up, son. It won't bite you. Good. Now wait here. Listen up, son. I'm going to activate a remote-controlled tank. It will appear from behind the large gate ahead of you marked A. Now don't go wetting yourself. It won't hurt you, not unless I tell it to, that is. So you better get this right, son.
Yeah, it's coming out from the front. Vehicle sound effects are pretty bad, so you have to, well, deal with it.
Okay, son. Go into aim mode and place the aiming reticule over the front of the tank. That's it. Now launch your rocket at the tank. Okay, listen up. Battle tanks are impossible to kill cleanly from the front, but their rear armor is nice and weak, so always aim for that. If you can't get to the rear, then try the side armor. When the tank is finished moving, fire at its rear armor.
Just like our good old friend here said, shooting the tanks from the front is a dumb idea. They got more armor on the front than on the back. Try to shoot them from the back or the sides.
That concludes your anti-tank training. Step into the observation booth to reach your next training area.
It's much easier to blow up a tank from the side or the rear, so you should always try to do that. But in case you just can't do it because you're pinned down, well, say fuck it and just shoot from the front until it blows up. You do get to drive around some cars as well, and since you have a squad, usually when you have a car or an APC like this, whoever is not driving will take control of the mounted well, weapons, like the machine gun and the rocket launcher. And the third guy will go into the passenger seat where he will be able to do some shooting, I think. Probably not. One thing is certain though, and right now there's gonna be a lot of loud noise, because this game loves it. It's kinda crazy actually. And this is where I usually lower the volume of sound effects, because the tank sounds fucking terrible. Like, it sounds like it's a tractor more like a tank, but what can you do? It's old stuff, so you can't really blame it for shitty sound effects. Now, this isn't the only game from the Conflict series. There's also Conflict Vietnam, but from what I've heard, not a lot of people liked it, and that's where the series pretty much ended, because it didn't get a lot of good reputation, let's say. It wasn't really acclaimed to be anything worth a damn. I don't remember playing much of the Conflict Vietnam actually. I do own it, but last time I tried playing it was a few years ago, and it was kinda laggy. Plus I didn't really care. I don't know. I stopped playing after a couple of missions and never came back to it, which is kinda odd. Don't get too attached to the vehicles, however. You don't get to use them that often, which is kinda sad, but what can you do? You will always be able to disembark from the vehicles whenever you want if you just stop and hit R. R is your action button. It'll do pretty much anything you want it to do. Now let's get that volume back up, because you don't have to drive a fucking tank anymore.
Get over there and pick up the laser designator.
You don't have to
The
shout.
laser designator designates enemy targets for airstrikes. Once a target is painted, the laser-guided ordnance fired from the aircraft will home in on the target, allowing 100% accurate strikes. Quickly, son, step up to the viewport.
I don't know why they shot, because I can hear them just fine.
Do you see the tunnel to the right of you? I've just activated 2 drone tanks that will appear from the tunnel and stop in the middle of the valley. Once the tanks are stopped, I want you to laser designate
So now we have two dummy tanks. We're gonna need to paint them with a laser designator, just like the tutorial is telling us. I really don't have to say much about this, because the tutorial is doing a good job on its own, which I really like. A well done tutorial, which many of the newer games seem to fail to do, for some reason. Now painting the target is pretty simple with the laser designator, which looks more like a portable radio, more than anything. Go into aiming mode, put your reticle on the tank, wait till it glows fully red, and then hit the left mouse button. Oh wait, not the left mouse button, R.
Target coordinate to C, strike inbound, over.
Then it'll take a few seconds for the airplane to show up and nuke the tank. There it is.
Nicely done, son. Calling in airstrikes with the laser designator is an excellent way of taking out enemy tanks, hardened buildings, and even bridges. Now take out the other tank.
For the purposes of a tutorial, you cannot paint the second target until the trainer, let's call him that. I keep forgetting their names for some reason. I guess I didn't really pay attention. Until he finishes talking. Normally you'll be able to paint targets as soon as they blew up the first one. So you don't really have to worry about the delays all that much. Not that there are many targets that will require laser designation to destroy them. Still, it is a useful thing to have.
Target coordinate to C, strike inbound, over.
You can also zoom in with this. It counts as makeshift binoculars.
Looks like you're starting to get the hang of this. This concludes this stage of training. Dismiss!
And there you have it. The tutorial is over. Now let's go back to the main menu and get straight into the action.